So today, the 15th of March, we are here in UCD, and we are delighted to be, this is the first site in Dublin that actually we're planting in, and the President and the Governing Authority of UCD have kindly given this site to us to plant the mini forest.
So this is our first kind of urban Dublin planting. We're doing about 2,000 native trees. We're in the kind of north section of UCD, so it's pretty built up area in terms of housing and everything else. So it's really nice to be able to build what's going to be a lovely little bit of impenetrable biodiversity.
About 50,000 trees on campus. We have an annual tree planting programme that we do every year, so we try and replace, and always keep planting. So a lot of our trees on campus, the veteran trees as we call them, would be here since the 1800s. They're starting to come to the end of their life, so we're always constantly replenishing and replacing for the future. So keep this cycle going.
The whole concept is to plant in small areas. This started off in Japan and in India and around the world, where they had virtually no planting because of huge populations in cities, and you'd see very few trees. And the concept works very well in poor land because the trees are so close together. They bind together, the enzymes move from the strong trees to support the weak trees. So you can have very small areas. I mean, if you see this, there's two areas here behind me, and that's going to take 2,000 trees.
They'll chase the light, they'll grow very quickly, they'll become impenetrable within a couple of years, and they'll end up being a perfect little area of biodiversity. There's quite a lot of bird life around here anyway, but it's a very nice way of significantly increasing the carbon trapping in the area and generating a new bit of biodiversity. It wouldn't have been possible, obviously, without Kieran and all the staff at UCD and the governing body who let us do this. So it's terrific, and it should serve as a template, hopefully, but it'd be very nice if we could reproduce this size with about 2,000 native trees all over the place, just in small pieces of ground, a fifth of an acre or a tenth of an acre even, just to try and fill it with a bit of new life and try and get to our planned 100 million trees over the next 10 years.
It'll be healthier for people because it's breathing out all of that oxygen, taking in all that carbon in the air. So it's a huge benefit to cities which don't have many trees planted.
In a place like this, in the middle of a city centre, space is always going to be, one of the more challenging parts of it. We're fortunate enough we have quite a lot of green space on campus, and to be able to get this number of trees into this relatively small space in a nice part of the campus that ties in well with the surrounding landscape is just really, really nice.
We have volunteers who are just passing, who've offered to help.
It's very easy to plant. This is amazing.
And we've got people who've just come along knowing that the planting is going to occur in UCD. Some of the staff in UCD have come out and they're helping to plant as well. So we noticed that over the last number of plantings now, we planted about 1,900 trees in Powers Court last week, and a whole series of people came out and helped with the planting. So it's a very good communal spirit, and there's some tea and sandwiches, and everybody can walk away after a few hours knowing that they've actually planted a tree.
It's a good time. Everyone's conscious of biodiversity, everyone's conscious of tree cover, and it's a good project. You know what I mean? I couldn't see how anybody would, be negative about it. But yeah, that's part of what UCD is all about. You get a chance to kind of do some of this type of work, which is one of the nice things.
So it's not a matter of just sticking a couple of trees here and there and give me a couple of trees and we'll do it. What we need to do is to aim to plant proper mini forests, which will be tended and which will look after themselves after 2 or 3 years anyway.
So we're calling on all those people who haven't planted a tree, come out, it's good fun. You're doing something positive for the environment, and you'll see your trees that you planted grow very quickly.
And I suppose that's what's really nice about this particular project, in that it allows us to, I suppose, plant a forest that will be there for the future, for the people that come along in another 100 years after us.
It's a very rewarding thing. Some people say that there's nothing more joyous than having your hands covered with clay, and there's probably a certain amount of truth to that.